Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely, and parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/Wondery.
Bombas makes the most comfortable socks, underwear, and T-shirts.
Warning, Bombas are so absurdly comfortable you may throw out all your other clothes.
Sorry, do we legally have to say that?
No, this is just how I talk, and I really love my Bombas.
They do feel that good. And they do good, too. One item purchased equals one item donated.
To feel good and do good, go to bombas.com/Wondery and use code Wondery for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/Wondery and use code Wondery at checkout.
There's one thing that will forever change the way you sleep, and it's the softest 100% organic cotton sheets from Boll & Branch. You'll fall asleep faster, wrapped in the most luxurious comfort. You'll never sleep hot again. With sheets that feel breathable to sleep in, you'll experience the purest softness on night one and feel your sheets get even softer with every wash. Discover the difference with 15% off your first set of sheets at bollandbranch.com with code WONDERY15. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Welcome to How to Survive with Danielle and Kristine, the show that teaches you how to survive the things that can kill you.
Like cancer scams, PCP, being roofied.
And things that just make you wish you were dead.
Like Leo DiCaprio's pranks.
Oh, God.
The news. How about real estate twins?
Of any kind. Just a whole lot of them.
All of them.
All of them.
There's too many.
There are. You know what? There really are. You know what there's not too many of?
Yep.
Our theme song. Play it. Ground is shaking under our feet. Mountains on fire, flooding in the street. Can't breathe the air, can't fight the feeling. Gobbling down Xanax ain't the way to be dealing. Gotta do better than just getting high. We gotta stick together if we're gonna survive. Ooh, how to survive. Ooh, how to survive.
Hey.
Hello.
I'm bringing big show energy.
You are.
Yeah.
We are.
Show business.
We're zooming. We're zoom.
Do you have the zoomies?
I have the zoomies. I have the opposite of the zoomies. My
I know.
butt hurts from sitting down so much.
Oh,
Are you getting bed sores yet?
They have to turn me every 7 hours.
You know, that's nice though. It's a bonding experience for Jimmy and Oliver.
Yeah.
Time to go turn mom. Pause Matlock.
That's right. Exactly. Right. Yeah. So as you can tell, I've been sick. Chris has also been sick. So we decided to Zoom it today just to be safe.
Yeah, we don't want to get little Garon sick.
No, we don't want to get Garon sick. He just
Our
got over
little
being
buddy.
sick.
yeah.
Chris, how
Danielle,
are you feeling?
You know what? I think I'm maybe over the worst. I definitely don't think I got as sick as you.
Yeah.
Unless it's actually still coming at me. But just like a gnarly cold.
Yeah.
I think
exactly.
I kind of stayed in bed for 2 days as much as I could without like having to, take care of family and such, do school pickups and cook and such. But mostly I slept as much as I could.
You had to cook?
Yeah. People got to eat around here.
We just did takeout for 3 days because I was not up to it.
That's smart. I think, again, you were sicker. You are sicker.
I guess.
You got hit harder from... I'm going to blame it on Stephen Kieran. I think he came in with show business energy.
Yeah.
And, secret virus.
Secret virus.
Who's that by?
Captain and Tennille?
I think it's like a deep cut from their greatest hits album.
It is a duet, right? Secret Lovers.
Yeah. I don't
know. But it's not somebody I feel
it's like an R&B
but it's not like Peaches and Herb. It's not, that's
Atlantic Star.
Atlantic Star.
But do they have other songs?
Well,
I'm sure they do, but like songs that were hits.
Didn't they do that? Wait, what's that one that? Oh shit, I can't think of it. I used to love it. They have one called Always, Secret Lovers, Circles, and
Always,
Masterpiece.
I think I know.
I think Always I Know. I think Secret Lovers is one of those songs that in third grade I thought was about me and a kid I had a crush on.
Oh,
you know those songs that are like super mature, but when you're little, you feel really connected to them, even though you don't really understand what they're about. And you're like, yeah, this song is about me and Jason.
Oh.
And you're like singing it really soulfully because you feel like, yeah, this is about us.
Oh, that's very sweet.
I think Secret Lovers is one of those for me.
Did you have to keep your love a secret?
Well, it was just a secret to me.
Yeah, it was a secret from him.
For sure.
He didn't know you guys were romantically involved.
Well, he was, I think I told this, I've probably said this like 16 times on the show. He was the one who, I think also in third grade, I gave him a 45 of Billy Squires' Everybody Wants You.
Yeah.
Which is
so
just kind of creepy and weird.
It's just such a boy thing to do. It's funny.
You'll like this. This is a cool song.
Yeah. And how did
I was basically, I think I was non-binary before it was cool. In my little, boy jeans.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to talk about cars with me? Like working on cars.
Did you wear your brother's hand-me-downs?
I did.
I did too.
And I was often mistaken for a boy.
Did you have short hair?
I think it looked a lot like this.
Oh, this is in grade school?
Yes. My mom kept it. I mean, it wasn't as in to have long hair, I think, back then.
Okay.
As it is now. Like, I think it was because of like Dorothy Hamill and ice skaters having short cuts. Right. And I think I just had short hair. I didn't have good, like I had very thin hair.
Oh.
And it just was around this length until I think probably high school. No, middle school. And then it got a little longer. It took that long to grow it.
Really?
Yes. Just like my daughter. My daughter finally has like hair down to her shoulders because it just took that long.
Oh, okay. I think my mom was like, we're keeping your hair long. We don't need one more problem.
We don't need anybody thinking you're a boy.
Exactly. You got enough going against you. Let's just at least, and people would say like, oh, you have such nice hair. I didn't really have nice hair. It was just long.
Well, they said it was nice. So who are you to argue with them?
I didn't. I took it.
Yeah, take that. Take it and like it. Quick show business.
Yes.
Shout outs to our new Patreon members. Thank you for joining.
Thank
you. Got a bunch of new signups. I think the sale is bringing in the crowds.
People, and I'm including myself in this, love a sale.
They do.
People do love a sale. And
I
we're
don't
having
buy
one.
anything if it's not on sale. I mean, food stuff, of course, but like clothing or anything like that.
Who doesn't love a deal?
I gotta feel like I'm getting one up on them.
Yeah. Well, you can get one up on us until the end of this month.
Game the system.
Come in and beat the system. Stick it to the man. We're the man.
We're the man.
Yeah. So you can really get one up on us. Really just
put us in our place. Because
show us. We don't deserve it. Danielle.
Yes.
What else?
Well, I have a good show to recommend.
Okay, I'm ready.
Apple cider vinegar.
Oh, I heard about
Netflix.
This.
It's
I heard it was good.
This Australian woman who's in the health, space, the wellness space, I should say. Mm-hmm. One of these wellness warriors who basically lied about everything and lied about having cancer. And it's really, really good. It's
who's the star? Who's the star?
Deaver.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah.
I love her.
She was in Dope Sick. She was in Booksmart.
Caitlin Deaver.
What?
Caitlin Deaver.
She was
in Unbelievable. Did you see that?
What's that?
Is that what it's called? With there's who's the Australian actress that we love? She's
Toni
a
Collette?
legend. Toni Collette, yes, plays a detective.
I don't think I saw that.
I think it's called Unbelievable. It's incredible. It's not a easy watch because it's about sexual assault.
Oh, okay.
And she's not believed. She's
Hence
like
the title.
She's not a sympathetic victim. It's, I mean, on the nose.
Okay.
I highly recommend that show.
Okay. Well, she's very good in that. Sorry. And then the guy who played Shiv Roy's affair in Succession, the guy she had the affair with, he's in it. He actually is Australian, which I didn't realize.
What?
Yes, I know. So no one on that show was American, practically. They were all like from other places.
Yeah, they're all from somewhere else, except our friend Kieran.
Except for our friend Kieran. Yeah, it's really good. And then I would suggest after you watch the miniseries, watch the 60 Minutes Australia interview with the real woman. Because she's maybe even nuttier than they portray her. Like it's
no way.
So many levels of lying, and it's fascinating, but it's very well done.
I'm putting it on. I'm going to put it in my list of things to watch.
Netflix. I highly recommend it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Mm-hmm. Are you following at all the Murdoch Succession drama?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
So, I mean, I don't really have space in my head for it because I can only follow so many real life dramas. Like, my brain is only got room for the Baldoni drama right now. Okay. You know what I mean? Like once you don't
even know what's going on with the government. You're just all Baldoni.
Oh no, I can't. Come on, I can't follow that. Once that chunk moves out, then I can let the Murdochs. You know, they say Succession is kind of
the Murdoch. Yeah. The
Murdochs. Well, they're in the news right now because there's all this drama in the courts over the trust.
Oh, there's more stuff.
More stuff, and I saw that it's in the paper today. I guess there's also some stuff going on in politics.
Yeah, there's a couple things.
I just scroll.
Yeah.
Fascism. Scroll. Musk.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this looks very juicy. And there's like family trees explaining like multiple wives and the kids that shoot off from that. And then they had to redo the trust when he married Wendy Dang because then they had kids and then those kids needed to be involved in the trust. But then they didn't have any voting power.
I forgot. Is the father dead?
Murdoch is still alive now. He's in.
So whose trust is it then?
I think it's his, but like I think before he dies, the kids
they have to get it settled.
It's kind of like let's get this all figured out, and it's. I think it's gotten very ugly.
Oh. Wait, something in the family got ugly?
I know it's weird, right? It's weird.
C'est impossible.
It's hard to imagine. I shouldn't even be talking about it because I haven't read the article, but I was like, this seems like I could get very interested in this. I think you know what it is, why it is interesting, because it is a nice distraction from the real horrors. Because it's like, well, this is too overwhelming. I have a recommendation, but also like with a caveat of, you know, maybe you don't want to have this in your head.
Okay.
So did we all watch The Zone of Interest?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Well, Garon, you should watch it. There's a documentary on HBO called The Commandant's Shadow that is about the children of Rudolf Hess, one of the surviving children, and his son, so it'd be the grandson, reckoning with this, you know, guilt.
They really lived next door.
Yes, that they really lived next door.
Okay.
Lived on, you know, at the camp at Auschwitz. And another woman whose life was saved at Auschwitz because she played the cello.
Oh my God.
And
okay, wait, what is this called?
It's called The Commandant's Shadow.
Okay, and where do you see it?
HBO.
Okay, I think I probably like that more than the movie because I did not care for the movie.
You didn't?
No. I thought it was so on the nose, and I was just like, I just thought it was so heavy-handed. Like okay, how many shots can we see of the camp? I just didn't think it went anywhere.
Huh.
I thought it was such an interesting story that didn't, a premise that just didn't, to me, it didn't go anywhere.
God, I loved it. I must just be a simple-minded fool. Well,
no, I just didn't do anything for me. I don't know.
This documentary
zone of disinterest.
It's
exactly.
I think you'll find it really fascinating.
I will. Yeah.
But it's again, it's not an easy watch.
Oh, it's Valentine's Day. Does anybody have any plans?
I am going to medieval times.
Yes.
With
that's romantic.
Oh,
yeah, how fun.
I've never gone before, so I look forward to hoisting a giant turkey leg in the air and cheering on mythical violence.
You know what? It's fun. It actually is fun. And if you've never gone before, I think you'll have a good time.
Yeah. I think they'll elect me king.
They'll what?
They'll elect me king. Is that how it works? Don't they pick a king?
No.
Don't they pick somebody to like make a king from the audience or something weird like that? I think I was 19 the last time I was at a medieval time. So
I think it's that there's a princess whose hair will not be period. I'm just warning you. It might be flat ironed. It might be crimped. It will not be period. And now it will bother you as it bothered me. I know it won't bother you, but it's just like
I love it.
That's fun. What about you, Danielle?
We are going to go see Portrait of Jenny, which is a movie I don't actually know anything about, but I know it's an old movie and it's part of Cinematheque. Excuse me. So that is what we will be doing.
That's nice. Yeah. I was going to make a special Valentine's dinner for my family with a dessert.
Oh, what are you making?
Well, I think I'm going to make brownies.
Oh, nice.
Because everybody likes brownies. And maybe fettuccine Alfredo.
Oh, that sounds good.
Because everybody likes fettuccine Alfredo, in my family. So it's hard because I make a lot of dinners that my kids, one of them might like. It's usually Alex. Because Benji is very particular. And so he'll take a bite and go, "Thank you for making this. It's not for me."
Oh my God. Wow.
And then he'll go get himself something else.
Holy moly.
So I thought, why don't I make something that I know everybody will like?
His palate's just too sophisticated for you at this point.
I think it's actually that his palate is very bland. And so he really is just like, I only like steak and pasta.
Oh, okay.
That is, like pasta with sauce that's like tomato sauce and pasta that's like fettuccine Alfredo. Like he will eat like a few things that are interesting, but for the most part, like I make a lot of vegetarian dishes with beans and spices and sweet potatoes, and he's just like, this is not for me.
Oh yeah, like Jimmy, he doesn't like any of that stuff either.
Yeah, so they'd probably do very well together.
Yeah,
if they went on a trip. Except Benji would want to hunt and fish, and Jimmy would be like, "Why aren't we going to the
mall?" Yeah, right. Exactly.
Let's go to the mall.
100%. Yeah.
Guys.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about something you need to survive?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, this is very likely to happen to any of us at any moment.
Okay.
This could happen to Garon actually tonight.
Anytime.
So I think
it's how to survive medieval times.
It's
what
weird.
A coincidence.
Being in the medieval times.
It is weird that it's happening.
You're gonna need a mace.
I am gonna do How to Survive Medieval Times, because that is where Garon's going tonight. No, this is actually the reason I want to do this topic is because I've been seeing it in the news a lot lately, and it's not going to be about politics.
Okay,
it's not going to be about climate change, and I know it's like hard to believe there are other things in the news besides those two things. So first,
Blake Lively.
Trying to survive. Us talking about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, which we're going to do for the next 3 hours.
Oh no!
Could you imagine? Okay, so I'm going to remind you guys about Giselle Pellico.
Yes.
If you remember that case, she's that French fucking icon whose husband drugged and raped her and allowed many, many more men. So 48 other men were convicted of raping her, actually.
Jesus.
And police, I don't know if the reason I thought of this case was because it was just in the news the other day that they're saying his crimes may have started long before her, and he's potentially connected to an attempted rape of another young woman in her 20s and a violent murder.
What? Whoa.
Yeah.
What?
Yes. So 2 women from, I think, the 90s. One was both real estate agents.
With pencil thin eyebrows.
Obviously, we all did that. I'm just so glad mine grew back. Because I saw a picture. My mom, Alex goes, "What did you do to your eyebrows, Mom?" And I was like, "I know.
You have to understand.
You got to know that we were all doing it, man. We did not know what we were doing." So that's in the news.
So he may have killed one of those women.
Maybe he killed one of them. I think he actually admitted that he was the one who did the attempted rape of the other woman. Okay. And the murder and the attempted rape look so similar. Like there's similarities between the 2 women. So that's why they're thinking he may have murdered that other woman. But it's all still being investigated. Gotcha. Obviously, I'll be just like Nicole Kidman. I have Google alerts set up. You know how many fucking emails I get about Nicole Kidman now?
Wait, do you really have Google alerts set up for Nicole Kidman?
I do.
Is it because you want to know what projects she's doing?
I just like to know what she's up to.
Okay. Is she ever up to anything interesting aside from her work?
It's interesting because I'll get them from like People magazine, and that'll be just stuff like where it's like, ooh, she's wearing a really cool suit. I'm glad I saw that.
Oh, okay.
But then it'll be like the Daily Mail where it's like Nicole Kidman is really concerned about Hugh Jackman and his new girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, I don't think she is.
No.
I don't think, I actually think she's just living her life.
Yeah.
And probably still friends with both of them. Okay. So then yesterday, or it might have been a couple days ago, 3 men in New York, guys, it's not going to be this dark the whole time. I'm just setting up the stage for the show. 3 men in New York were convicted of murder for drugging and robbing patrons of gay bars and clubs and luring them to their deaths. Do you guys see this?
God. No.
Yep. Yeah, I just saw that.
This is terrible. So 2 men were killed while their bank accounts were just being drained. Okay. So one of them, this guy named Julio Ramirez, was just left in the back of a taxi. The other guy, his name is John Umberger. He died in a townhouse where
in the back of a taxi.
Yeah, they just left him there.
Right, but does that mean the taxi driver? Oh wait, what? Like,
I mean, I don't know if maybe the taxi driver didn't know because he just thought he was passed out. The other guy died in a townhouse where his attackers partied next to his lifeless body. I should say, by the way, that's I got that from the New York Times. I also used NPR. I have other sources. I'll talk about those later. Okay. So here's the scheme. These men would come out of the bars like around closing time, and the 3 bad guys would say, "Hey, let's keep partying back at our place or hotel or whatever." Then they would give them fentanyl-laced cocktails. And when the guys would pass out, they would drain their bank accounts. And they did this to lots of men, not just these 3. These are just the 3 men that died.
So how do they drain their bank accounts?
Because they take their phone. Like they would pass out. Then they would take their phones and wallets. And when they have their phones, they could get access to their bank accounts.
Okay, got it.
Because like many people, you get on your phone and you can just go to the app, right?
Wow.
So that just happened. Okay. I'm going to share one more anecdote. Okay. Now, I don't know if you guys, this is also all over the news. And I'm just like, oh my God, the real estate broker twins, Tal and Oren Alexander. Have you heard about these guys?
No.
Oh, and then their older brother.
Is this the Property Brothers?
I was going to say, it's not
basically, yes, this is the Property Brothers.
Except they really do real estate.
These 2 guys look like the equivalent of American Psycho. I mean, if you could just Google Tal and Orrin Alexander. Okay. So they're charged with sex trafficking, drugging, and assault. And so far, 60 women have come forward to report being raped by at least one of the brothers. At least.
It's hard to tell. I mean, they're identical.
Well, two of them are identical, and then the older brother. So it's
he's in on
Al
too?
and Orrin are not the twins.
Oh,
it's like one's like a year older or something, and then the identical brother is not one of the real estate brokers. He's like has some other job. I don't know. He's like a pickleball teacher or something, and then but he's like also been implicated as being involved in some of the rapes. And then they also have an accomplice, guys. Do you want to know what the accomplice's name is? Ohad Fisherman.
Ohad Fisherman?
Yeah, that's a name.
Okay.
Wow.
So
he lures them in.
He does.
The weird thing to me is like that there are 3 people in the same family who would be sick in the same way. That's very interesting to me. Like,
yeah, it is and it isn't, because I think they
are genetically.
It's also maybe probably a learned behavior from their father. They've been assaulted, perhaps.
Right.
I mean, this concept.
No, I meant the real estate part. That 2 guys would be into real estate.
Oh my God. Thank you for that. We needed that. So if you haven't guessed what I'm going to talk about today, it's how to survive being roofied.
Right.
Not just men in general.
Well,
because
it's not every episode, Garon.
That's true. That is true.
That's my life. If you're a woman, that's your life. And sometimes a man, it turns out.
Yeah.
If you're a person in this world. Hashtag not all men.
Yeah.
But most. Okay. So let's start with being Mickeyed. Okay, because that's an expression, right? Yeah. Slipping a Mickey. That's been around longer than any of us. So first off, I'm going to talk about what it is. Okay, it's being drugged. It refers to the spiking of drinks used by thieves, murderers, and generally at drinking establishments. And it's when someone laces an alcoholic drink with sedative drugs. Who is Mickey? Right? Who is Mickey? That's something I wanted to know. So I did some deep diving, and I'm going to tell you about Mickey Finn. He was a Chicago bad guy, a barkeep who owned a place called the Lone Star Saloon and Palm Garden Restaurant from 1896.
Very different aesthetics.
Right? The name Lone Star Saloon and like Palm Garden
Texas
Restaurant.
And then Florida or California. Doesn't make
one half of the bar, you can throw an axe.
Yeah, right.
And the other half,
you get free cocktails.
Yes. This is from 1896 to 1903.
Oh.
But before that, he had previously worked on Toronto's Whiskey Row, but he got fired for socking a customer with a bung. Wait, my computer auto-corrected. It's not bung started. Hold on.
What?
Bung started? Garon. So it's whatever it is that is, my computer changed the wording. It's not bung started. This is the mallet that bartenders use to whack loose keg beers. We'll figure out what it's actually called. It's something bung. Okay. He whacked a customer with one so hard that the fellow's eye popped out.
Oh.
Yeah, he got fired for that.
Okay. So it's okay, though, because at this point, America is still the land of opportunity. So he goes to Chicago, and this is just after the World's Fair. You know, that's if you remember this time period, this is, you remember, we were around. Yes.
The Ferris wheels just made its big debut. H.H. Holmes, he's the Devil in the White City. If you read that book, if you haven't, Danielle, I strongly recommend it. You will love it. So read The Devil in the White City. It's a nonfiction book about this time period. So he's just been executed for all the heinous murders he did in Chicago. So Chicago's safe. And Mickey's like, well, what could go wrong in my life? Okay.
Wait, he did commit murders in?
No.
Okay.
H.H. Holmes. So he's sort of considered the first serial killer.
Oh, okay. You're talking about something. Okay, got it.
I'm referencing this book, The Devil in the White City. So
Right.
it's this time of America's Great World's Fair in Chicago. So Mickey Finn's there. He's a bar owner, but before that, he was popping out people's eyes.
Yeah.
He's a pickpocket and a thief who preyed on drunk people.
Mm.
So he's been a piece of shit long
Yeah.
time. And so now he's this bar owner. He's like, I might as well keep doing that. I'm in a perfect place for it. I own a bar. So he and his, what he calls house girls, would mix chloral hydrate into people's drinks, rob them, and then dump their unconscious bodies into the back alley where the unsuspecting patrons would, wake up and be like, oh, all my money's gone.
Oh, guess I drank too much.
I guess I'm an idiot. His saloon was closed down, surprise, surprise. And then he was arrested in 1918 for running another illegal saloon. So that same year, 4 people were arrested and over 100 waiters taken into custody over the widespread practice of poisoning by waiters in Chicago.
Wow.
So if you didn't tip or you tipped badly, you could be given Mickey Finn powder.
Okay.
So they were inspired, I guess, by him to put this powder into people's food and drinks. And that they analyzed it, and it showed that it contained something called antimony. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It could be antimony potassium tartrate, which is also called emetic tartar. So which, in addition to causing vomiting, headache, dizziness, and depression, can be lethal in large quantities. You could buy a pack of for 20 cents, and 3 people died at another banquet where 100 people were poisoned.
Oh my God.
Yes. So that was a huge time period of when the slipping a Mickey idea was born.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Now, there's other times in history when drugging wasn't just from these low-level pickpockets, sort of bar owner people. Sometimes it's from our own government. If you guys know anything about MK Ultra.
Yes.
So somehow I didn't really know. I've heard that word, but I missed all the documentaries about it. I never sort of saw the film adaptations. So I'll just talk a little bit about it for maybe people who don't know much, because I found it very interesting. So the experiments from the government came out of this paranoia of what the CIA called Soviet brain perversion techniques, and fears of the POWs coming back from Korea that would come back full of communist propaganda, right? That had been crammed into their heads because they were in captivity 24/7. Right. And so the government's like, oh no, other places are figuring out how to do this, brain warfare on our soldiers, and we have to figure it out too. So that result of that was this top secret CIA program called MK Ultra. You guys have probably seen documentaries and stuff on this before, right?
The only reason why I know about it is because when I was writing on Rainn Wilson's podcast, I kept referencing it when we were meeting, and I was like, guys, I don't know what you're talking about. And then so I looked it up. So so our audience might not know. I'm not saying if I don't know that they don't know, but not everyone probably knows what it is.
It's very conspiracy world driven as well.
But it's a
MK
real
Ultra.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, it was so new to me, but I knew the word. And so I wasn't like, is this something that's so obvious to everyone? And I'm just like the the last person on earth who's ever heard of it. Everybody's like, oh my God, duh, Chris. Okay. So the organization focused on behavior modification through electroshock therapy,
this is
hypnosis,
the CIA, right?
polygraphs, radiation, and a variety of drugs, toxins, and chemicals. Some of their subjects volunteered for it. Some volunteered under coercion, and some actually had no idea they were involved, which I thought was really wild. They found that prisoners made really effective volunteers because they could earn extra yard time outside. And one of their really famous volunteers was Whitey Bulger, the notorious gangster.
Wow.
He wrote of his experience as a test subject in MK Ultra, and here are his words. He says, this was in 1957 when he was in an Atlanta penitentiary where he was serving time. Total loss of appetite, hallucinating, the room would change shape, hours of paranoia and feeling violent. We experienced horrible periods of living nightmares and even blood coming out of the walls. Guys turning into skeletons in front of me. I saw a camera change into the head of a dog. I felt like I was going insane. He claims he was injected with LSD. Okay, so what about today, guys? Okay, so I just mentioned a few isolated incidents in history, and these are extreme events. But I'm talking about it because we've all heard about it. Like maybe we know somebody who's thinks they've been drugged when they've been out or were drugged. I'm not saying I don't believe them. Or, you know, we've been people who've been out in bars who have like maybe felt like we've had to watch our drinks or not leave the room and, you know, make sure we kind of keep an eye on our drinks. How prevalent is it though? Is it something we need to worry about? Or is it kind of one of those things like when we talk about moral panics, right? Like, you know, good question. Like Danielle and I grew up in a time of a lot of moral panics, the satanic panic and kidnapping panic and missing children, Dungeons and Dragons, tainted Halloween candy, like stuff that people would constantly say you had to worry about, but actually weren't as widespread. So I was curious about if it was actually a real, if we had to worry about it as much as we think. One thing that was hard when I was looking for numbers is that the data, it turns out, is very underreported because there's so much shame around it. So if someone thinks they've been drugged, they often already feel bad because they blame themselves. So oftentimes they don't end up reporting it to the police. Or there doesn't feel like there's anything the police can do anyway, especially if a crime hasn't been committed. So often it isn't reported. So for one, it's hard to get accurate numbers. So I'll give you a little bit of information that I have. Here's a 2016 study of more than 6,000 college students at 3 universities found that about 1 in 13 people said they had been drugged. 83 students said they had drugged someone.
What?
Or knew someone who had drugged someone. Okay.
Maybe separate those two stats.
I was going to say. Yeah. Does that really have to be the same question? Can I say yes and no to that?
I have been, and I did it. Same night. 15% of the group reported being sexually assaulted.
Jesus.
So I think in the case of somebody saying they drugged someone, they're often doing it as a prank.
Hilarious.
You know, like this idea of like, oh, we slipped this person, you know, something in their joint, or, you know, we slipped like, I don't think LSD is as common anymore, but like they thought they took this thing, but actually they took this thing. And,
you
know, it's especially even if like people might be drugged in a way that isn't, some people might not consider drugging. If somebody says, you know, I'd like a vodka tonic, and the person pouring puts like 4 shots in there, thinking I'm going to get this person hammered. That's drugging. That's giving person way more alcohol without their consent.
Right.
When they said, you know, they're expecting a drink with 1 shot.
Right.
You know, that you're drugging someone. That is against the law. So, you know, I'm going to give some safety tips.
Well, let me ask you before you do that, because I remember being out with a friend who was like, would not leave her drink, like would not go to the bathroom, or like made me watch it or put a napkin in. And I was like, it never occurred to me. Were you ever worried about that being out?
I mean, you know what? I should say in my 20s, when I was really out, like in clubs and drinking and dancing, I should have been like paying more attention, and I didn't.
Yeah.
And I think it just didn't occur to me. Like, I think I was certainly careful when it came to like men and going to my car. And I wasn't just like, I was cautious in a way that I knew that I could be in danger in situations. Like, I wasn't just like, nothing's going to happen to me. You know, like I knew there was vulnerability and danger, and I was careful, but not with drinks. And I am suspicious that I was drugged once. Out here. I do know somebody who was drugged. She believes and assaulted by somebody famous. And I'm not going to say their name on the show, but I'll tell you guys later. And so I do think, you know, it's a real thing, but I think certainly also, like, I don't know if people were really talking about it in Ohio in the 90s. But to me to think like, I don't remember people saying like, watch your drink or. Do you?
It was just that one friend. I remember her pointing it out and me being like, oh, is that, I think I just thought she was being paranoid, honestly. I don't think I like took it that seriously. It was not something I guess I thought it was razor blades in the apples. Like, that doesn't really happen, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think as we see, it's like, it seems like it really does happen.
Yeah.
It's probably not, I mean, 1 in 13 seems like a lot.
I mean, that's college. So,
yes.
But that's probably the age group. I remember on Shark Tank once, I can't remember if they sold it or not, but someone came in with a product to like cover your drink at a bar, like to be able to cover it.
They have I don't know if I have this in in my show notes or not later, but in the UK, they have at bars test kits where they can just put it in the person's drink to test it immediately.
Wow.
It's incredible.
That's cool.
Yeah, to see. And oftentimes, I think I read somewhere else that oftentimes people coming into the emergency room, they haven't been actually slipped a drug like, you know, a roofie, as much as they've consumed more alcohol than they think.
Overserved.
And it doesn't mean that they've been irresponsible. It often just means they've been poured more, like maybe they've only had a couple drinks, but the amount of alcohol that's been poured in it is so much.
Yeah. I guess if you have if it's mixed with something sweet enough, maybe you don't realize it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if you're with your friends, you're not paying attention, you might not be like, this is so much stronger.
Right.
I don't, you know. So where were we? Okay, I was going to give some safety tips. Okay. College students are considered high risk, but it can be anyone out enjoying themselves at a club, a party, or a bar. You know what? I've been at those places and not enjoyed myself. And you can still be at risk even if you're not having a good time. Okay. So as I said before, they're often referred to as date rape drugs, but it's not always the purpose to sexually assault someone. Apparently, sometimes people do this as a prank. Like, I don't know if get new friends.
Right.
Your friends think it's funny to prank you this way.
Joy buzzer. I mean, whatever happened to a nice whoopee cushion?
Exactly.
You know?
Come on. And like I said also before, many people don't report it because they think, well, I just had one drink. You know, then they pass out and they're like, they feel shame. So they blame themselves and that whole thing. So, so the concept of being roofied which is short for rohypnol, is what we'll say like, oh, this person doesn't want to get roofied or I don't want to get roofied. But it's often nowadays, many of the times the medication that's used to drug somebody is Xanax because it's easier to access.
Oh.
And like I said, the alcohol itself. So it's overpouring the drink, adding more liquor to the pour with the express purpose of incapacitating the person. And like I said, there can be legal penalties for doing this, right? So if you're accused of drugging another person, you could face charges like assault, infliction of bodily harm, regardless of intent, or misuse of a substance that requires a prescription. So don't do it, dummies.
Yeah.
Here's how you can help somebody. Be an active, positive bystander while you're out. If you see someone mess with someone else's drink in any setting, be that person that says something, even if the person is like, no, just playing. I don't know who that is. Oh my God. Did you guys see the Colin Jost and Michael Che episode where they had to say each other's jokes?
Yeah.
Oh God, it just made me laugh so hard.
It's so funny. That's funny that you say that, because last night we watched they have these, Peacock has like several documentaries for the SNL 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
So last night we watched the one about auditioning.
Okay.
And Bobby Moynihan, like they get some people and they have them watch their audition.
Yeah.
And Bobby Moynihan is so embarrassed by his audition, but he does like this black character, and he's just, his head is in his hands, and he's so, I mean, he doesn't say he's black, but I mean, he said it was someone he worked with. He was just doing an impression of someone he worked with, but it's so adorable how like humiliated.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
He's so endearing, but it's really good. Yeah. It's really good.
I don't Peacock. Damn it! I gotta Peacock.
Oh shoot! And I haven't watched it yet, but apparently there's a whole episode on the cowbell sketch, and I'm very excited to see that.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll get Peacock and watch all of it. Okay. So yeah, be the person. Don't be afraid to be, Susie Buzzkill.
Yeah.
Obviously, don't leave your food and drinks unattended. And guess what? It doesn't have to be alcohol. They can, you can, your water can be drugged. Your mocktail can be drugged. Your Diet Coke can be drugged, Danielle. People are dying to drug you.
Why would someone sully my pure Diet Coke?
I know. It is offensive to think about, but people
right
do
from the
stuff
earth.
To you.
Does it have a taste, the roof?
Oh, I don't know that.
Just wondering if it's, but yeah, because I'll send a Diet Coke back. I am not above sending a Diet Coke back if it is flat or tastes off.
I will not. I'll send a Diet Coke back if it's a Diet Coke and I want Coke.
And I'll vice versa for me.
Yeah,
100%.
Depends what I'm in the mood for. I do both. Sometimes I'll get a Diet Coke. Sometimes I get a Coke. Okay. According to Rain, here are some signs you may have been drugged. Difficulty breathing, feeling drunk despite having little to no alcohol, nausea, dizziness, blurred vision, waking up with little to no memory. If you or someone you know is suspected of being drugged, seek medical help. Here's the first thing. This is Simmons Kaleva. She adds that if you were ever a victim of drugging, the first thing to know is you're not at fault ever. Okay? So get that out of your head right now.
Yeah.
No victim
Unless
blaming.
you roofie yourself. Didn't Zach Galifianakis have a joke about roofing himself or something?
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
It sounds familiar. I don't know. Maybe Garon can look that up.
Okay. How can you help a friend who you think has had their drink spiked?
Good question.
Well, tell a bar manager, a bouncer, or a member of staff. Stay with them and keep talking to them. Call an ambulance if their condition deteriorates. Don't let them go home on their own. And don't let them leave the venue with someone you don't know or trust.
Oh,
obviously, don't let them leave with anyone else. Don't let them drink more alcohol. And urine and blood tests carried out in the first 24 to 72 hours are more likely to detect drug traces.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 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 Guys, do you want to take a break and then do stories?
That's exactly what I was going to suggest.
Okay. I have an idea.
Yes.
Why don't we take a break?
Let's take a break.
We'll be right back.
Bye.
Your weekly dose of romance and drama has arrived. Season 29 of The Bachelor is here, and Grant Ellis, certified hottie and former day trader, is trading his day job on Wall Street for a second chance at everlasting love. New episodes drop every Monday at 8, 7 Central, bringing you fresh twists in Grant's journey to find his soulmate. This self-proclaimed mama's boy is all grown up and ready to invest his heart. Will his playful charm win over the house full of hopefuls, or will the competition prove too intense? From heartfelt moments to adrenaline-pumping dates, each week brings new surprises in the mansion. Will Grant find his perfect match or end up with a broken heart? Tune in every Monday at 8, 7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu for new episodes of The Bachelor.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Everybody had a great break, I presume.
Yes.
Best break of all time.
Top 10 for sure.
Yeah, it's up there. Definitely up there. Would you guys like to hear some stories about being roofied?
Yes, please.
I mean, I will say some of them are a little dark. However, I will end on a high note.
Okay.
Okay, so no, that's coming. All right. These are all in the UK. So know that all the bad stuff happens there.
Okay.
Okay, so we don't live there, so we're fine. Here's another thing that I think is really sort of alarming about the current technology, the way we live with technology today. I'm going to share this one. Jane, 55, Surrey. It was a Friday night in December, and my 23-year-old son, Tom, had his first office Christmas party. At about 11:30 p.m., he went with 3 colleagues to a nightclub in Clapham, South London, dressed in black tie. He remembers arriving and chatting to 4 very friendly men, and then that's it. My husband and I woke up the next morning at home in Surrey to all these alerts on my Hotmail account saying, change your Microsoft password, Amazon, Apple ID. I assumed Tom was trying to set up his Xbox in his new flat. When we came downstairs, the doors of our BMW, which can be partially controlled by an app, had been unlocked and the boot was open. The gates on the driveway were opening and shutting. We tried calling Tom, went straight to answer phone. We called again, nothing. Meanwhile, Tom woke up at 11:30 a.m. in his bed in West London. He had no recollection of getting home and didn't have his phone. His housemate wasn't in, so he ran downstairs to the flat below, desperate to call us, but they weren't in. So we walked to the station, slipped through the barriers to get on the tube, and then got the train to Surrey, walked from the station, and appeared on our driveway. He said, I'm so sorry, but my phone has been stolen. He said he felt terrible, and he looked even worse, sitting on the kitchen floor, slumped. He wasn't reacting normally. I said, I think you've been drugged. And he said, I think I have too. I have a total blank. He canceled his phone and all his credit cards, although £9,000 had already been stolen. Then he said, I've just had a flashback. I was in a car with them. They were asking for my pins and passwords. And then I think I was in a second car. Slowly he had memories of being dumped and then potentially flagging someone down to help him. He doesn't remember much else. The following night, my phone was filled with Amazon alerts, confirmations of purchases for iPhones, headphones, an air fryer, hoodies. We had to cancel every single bank card we ever had. Our neighbors supplied us with cash. Then we realized that we share an Apple ID, so anything on my phone or my husband's phone was also accessible through Tom's. It meant the hackers had every username and password we'd ever used. Every time I tried to change them, they were alerted. So I got locked out of gas, broadband, and council tax accounts, and they had access to every utility bill and every bank account. Then I was on my laptop.
My God. So wait, so when she tried to change the bank account, they would get the alert and say deny.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Then I was on my laptop and in front of my eyes, someone started typing a password into my screen. That's when I realized our home internet had been hacked. I went a bit crazy. I pulled the wires out of the back of the broadband router. Our CCTV had been going through our broadband too, so I pulled out all the wires, terrified they'd been watching us. It was a total violation of our home, a total takeover. After downloading the contents of our entire iCloud, they locked us all out of our accounts. We have 3 iPhones and 3 iPads that we'll never be able to get back into and have lost 15 years of photos and contacts. Eventually, we had to get a corporate cyber expert to rebuild everything. The police interviewed Tom within a day. They told him to go to the hospital to get a blood test for the spiking. So he went to the hospital where he queued for 8 hours until he was told they couldn't give him a test. He didn't hear from the police for weeks after that. Twice he walked into police stations unannounced to ask them to do something. We still don't know what's happening. Tom is doing well, but he's very shaken. He was very independent, friendly, and open. Now he's just anxious, ringing me multiple times a day, which he never did.
So there's an upside. The sun's calling.
She gets to see her son more. I was like, independent? Really? You guys share an Apple ID?
Yeah, that's
But it is, I
wild.
think it is a good lesson to be very aware. For one, it's like, do you want to be that connected to everything with your house that online?
That's
That
crazy.
because if you lose if the whole family all have iPhones and everything is connected like that, and then one person's phone gets taken, and if your life can be upended to that extent, that's alarming. Like, you really want to be careful that you have stopgaps in place with your technology so that if this situation happens, you can shut it down.
Right.
That scared me.
Jesus.
Like, that scares me.
Totally.
Holy cow. I mean, so let me see if I have one more that's going to be less sad than that first one. All right.
That would be, it sounded like a Black Mirror episode. Like you come downstairs, your gates are opening and closing, your car's open. It's just crazy.
Right? Do you guys want to hear kind of I thought this was an interesting one from show business.
Yes.
There's no business like show business, you guys.
None that I can think of.
No, it's so rewarding. Okay. Of all the crazy stories from the making of James Cameron's Titanic, none come close to that of the crew being drugged with PCP.
What?
Yeah. Did you know this?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm about to drop some knowledge. All hell broke loose August 9th, 1996, on the film's set in Halifax, Nova Scotia, when craft services provided clam chowder, first of all, no, that happened to be spiked with the drug. Halifax was where Cameron filmed the Titanic framing device scenes featuring Bill Paxton as the leader of an expedition that discovers Rose's necklace. To commemorate the film's 25th anniversary, Vulture spoke to a couple of crew members about the night the crew got drugged. We had a room for the grips and electricians, and one of the guys started talking really hyper. Crew member Jake Clark said. He's a big guy, like 6'4", and he says, "Do you guys feel okay? Because I don't. I feel like I'm on something. And believe me, I would know." He was just chattering on like that. And just as he was saying this, we saw James Cameron run by the door and this extra running behind him. He said, "There's something in me. Get it out." Authorities never uncovered who spiked the pot of clam chowder with PCP because the incident happened on the movie's Halifax set. Lead actors Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet were not affected. Paxton, however, did eat the soup. Bill Paxton was a real sweetie, set decorator Claude Roussel told Vulture. He was sitting next to me in the hallway of the hospital, and he was kind of enjoying the buzz. Meanwhile, grips were going down the hallway doing wheelies in wheelchairs. Many crew members were sent to Dartmouth General Hospital. Cameron recalled the incident in a 2009 interview with Vanity Fair, saying, "People are moaning and crying, wailing, collapsing on tables and gurneys." The DP, Caleb Deschanel, is leading a number of crew down the hall in a highly vocal conga line. "You can't make this stuff up." Clark did not eat the chowder, but did end up staying on the film's set until 4 a.m. that night. He recalled seeing Cameron and Paxton later as the hysteria was winding down. "Their eyes were beet red, like unbelievably," Clark said. "Jim had a bottle of scotch and Bill Paxton had a bag of joints because he was a real stoner." I'm kind of laughing about it because I didn't eat the chowder and then I'm in the trailer smoking a joint. It was just a strange experience, Roussel added. Yeah. That's it.
I wonder what happened to old Rose. She was in those wraparound segments.
Oh, yeah.
You think old
She
Rose?
might have just gotten high with Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
She seemed like a real stoner.
That's insane. I cannot believe I've never heard that before.
I know, right? Like, you would think that would be one of those legendary Hollywood stories. It's like,
where did we get PCP to put it in
I know, like,
clam
I thought that was like didn't even exist anymore. It's like angel dust or something.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Not even, I didn't think that was around in the 90s.
So weird.
Yeah. So I thought that was a fun one. Fun drugging.
Maybe it was Leo.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm going to
He's like, I can't. George Clooney's not the only one that can do a good prank.
Yeah, see?
Watch this.
Is this how you do it?
Is this how pranks work?
Gosh.
Oh, Leo.
He's a funny guy.
Guys, what a sense of humor on him.
It's limitless.
You just laugh and laugh when you sit next to him at dinner.
Do you think he's humorless?
I don't know. I can't tell.
I don't know. I don't think he is.
I've never heard anything about.
I've never heard of him being funny. I feel like he would just be like, my favorite show is American Dad.
You think he's like our friend Michael Imperioli?
Oh,
remember that was his favorite show?
Yes. I feel like he could be like, God, it's weird. I've never even thought about what.
I don't know if I've ever seen him interviewed or does he do interviews? He must, right?
Yeah, but I feel like he's just like really into talking about his craft.
Yeah, I don't think I cannot ever remember hearing him talk as himself. I'm sure
He might not have a self.
Yeah.
That's why he's such a good actor.
He is a good actor, yeah.
They're all parts of me, my roles.
He's 100% method.
Yeah.
Yes.
He can never, ever be a self.
He's just waiting for that part where he has to date a 20-year-old. So he's preparing.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess that's it for now. And we'll be right back after this with what did we learn today?
What are we going to learn? Who knows?
Chris.
Yes, Danielle.
Are you ready to learn what we learned today?
I'm ready when you are.
Keep bed sores at bay with multiple bed turns.
Such good advice.
Kristine's they-them era came in elementary school.
Yes.
Don't forget to put us right in your place. Don't forget to put us right in our place yourself and for all your friends with our Patreon sale. Apple Cider Vinegar is a 2025 Australian television drama limited series published on Netflix. The series stars Caitlin is it Deaver? Caitlin Deaver and Alicia Debnam Carey as wellness guru Belle Gibson and her friend Milla. Well, they're not friends. That's respectively, who both use their platforms to promote alternative medicine. So the character that Alicia Debnam Carey plays is kind of a composite of different people. Mm-hmm. Of course, I did a huge deep dive as soon as I finished watching it. Gibson fools her following and the world with a fake cancer diagnosis, while Milla convinces her mother to join her in eschewing scientifically prescribed medical treatment. It's really good, and I recommend it. Also, it made me realize how terrible my Australian accent is. Although there are variations from what I'm understanding. I think what I'm doing is like a low class, lower class accent.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Portrait of Jenny is a 1948 American supernatural film directed by William Deartell, produced by David O. Selznick, and starring Jennifer Jones, Joseph Cotton of Orson Welles' Tribe fame. What did he call his players? I'm completely blanking. Jesus Christ. Okay. Anyway, Joseph Cotton was one of them. Ethel Barrymore and Lillian Gish.
Wow, what a cast.
Its plot follows an impoverished New York City painter whose chance encounter with an old-fashioned young woman in Central Park changes the course of his life.
Mercury Theater.
Thank you, Mercury Theater players. This is the place where I was going to talk about Mickey Finn, and Chris taught us all about him already. A bung hammer.
Who was going to talk about Mickey Finn?
Oh, that was what I was going to put. I was looking that up to put it in the thing.
You ruined it by telling us all about
it. Sorry.
A bung hammer or a bung master mallet can be used to open kegs.
And pop out eyes.
Project MK Ultra was a human experimentation program designed and undertaken by the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency to develop procedures and identify drugs that could be used during interrogations to weaken individuals and force confessions through brainwashing and psychological torture. If I remember correctly, it went on for years and years. Mm-hmm. You can get test kits for your drinks from a variety of outlets, including Amazon. And he says, I know, sorry. Rohypnol used to come as a white tablet that didn't have a smell or taste. Drug companies now make it as a light green pill, with a blue core. If someone puts it in a clear drink, the liquid turns blue. Genius. I wonder what the purpose of it is, like the actual medical purpose of it. Is it like a painkiller or something? Or is it, maybe it's for, I don't know. Anyway, the 7th season of Black Mirror will be released on Netflix in 2025. Yay! The season will include 6 episodes. Awesome.
Nice. That's great news for all of us.
Very good. I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
We got anything else?
Do I have anything else? Oh, our dog, we have a puppy.
We know.
And she's been really into humping all her legs lately.
Oh, okay.
Like it's intense.
Is she fixed yet, or does that have to come later?
That comes later. But it's like she'll come run at us because she's excited, and then she'll grab onto her leg, and then it's like she really just goes at it. And we feel bad kind of because she's so enjoying it. You feel like you have to kind of let her finish. And I said to Benjamin,
she'll tire herself out.
I go, well, it looks like her hormones are kicked in. And I go, that's going to happen to you soon. He goes, oh, they've kicked in.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Did the conversation end there?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious. What?
So I've got a horny dog and a horny son.
Oh, boy.
Right.
Holy moly. I'm so sorry for you.
That is my house right now.
A lot of pheromones.
At least a couple creatures are horny in my house.
Yeah, that's true. And we don't know what that snake is up to.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we know it already tried to, it did escape successfully once.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Who knows what it wanted to get to.
Right.
Just stay away from me. That's all I can say.
It wanted to get it on with the yarn.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Danielle.
Yes.
I hope you feel better.
I think I'll be fine.
You just need to rest. I don't even know if you should go to the movies tonight. You guys should be curled up in a blanket.
I've been doing too much curling up in a blanket. I'm ready to.
Oh yeah, you got to air out those bed sores.
Yeah, exactly.
Wear a willowy skirt.
Let's show them off. Get out there and show those bed sores off.
Yeah, let the world see them. Come on, girl.
They're red for Valentine's.
Yeah.
Wait. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. It's too late. Cut that out. That's going to be over by the time we air this. Sorry.
It's all right. We already talked about it.
Join our Patreon. Thanks for listening.
Yes, thank you.
Until next time,
remain
calm.